Hello, my name is Joanne Lockwood, and I am a remote speaking technical specialist, no less. And today I want to talk to you about my experiences with the Elgato Stream Deck, because I've seen a lot of people posting online in various forums uh, about how they're struggling to understand what the Stream Deck can do for them. Do they need it? How does it compare with other technology? So today I just wanted to do a quick run through about what it can do. So often as remote speakers, content generators, whether we're in Zoom meetings, we feel a bit like this. We're expected to play the guitar, sing, hum, whilst trying to entertain the audience, whilst trying to deliver something. And we all kind of realize this is becoming quite a struggle where we've got too much going on in our heads. So one thing the Elgato Stream Deck could do is take some of that stress away by allowing us to simplify a lot of the tasks we need to do while we're managing our various sources of content into simple push buttons. So let me show you what that looks like. So if I get the busker out of the way, so this is my Stream Deck, and you can see here, this is my hand waving in front of it, and I've got a number of buttons, and the top window represents the software that I'm going to show you in a minute how to configure the buttons. So as you can see, the software itself mirrors the buttons as I'm pressing them. So this is how I've got mine set up. I've got an OBS button set, so I can create folders in folders, which is what I've done here. So even though I've got 15 keys, I can nest these folders, and I can check between the various scenes. So I've got a button programmed here to take me to maybe this scene here, and you can see now that my my window's changed, and you can still see my Stream Deck in the corner there. So I've got this lined here, and I can move on to a different scene, and I can change scene again. So I've got all my scenes like programmed onto buttons, so that I can step between them. So what this means as a speaker, as someone who wants to configure their views and their scenes before they go live, before they go onto Zoom, before they record something, you can set all your scenes up as you want them, pre-programmed, and then access them very easily just by moving your fingers along. And this middle button here has got a little raise feature, so you can tell where the middle is. So you don't really need to look at the Stream Deck to make these things. Or you can also have your Stream Deck image on the screen in front of you as well, if you want to do it that way. So let's talk a bit more about what I've got here in my setup. So before I do that, let's look at where is it? I've lost my. This is the Elgato Stream Deck. This is their website. You can buy this from Amazon and various wherever your normal electrical store, your content store, your AV store is. So go to Amazon and find these. You can also buy them online through the Elgato store. I think from memory they're around about £100, £120, maybe a bit more, but there are deals on all the time, so go and have a look if you want to get one. So this is where you get it from, and this is also, if you come back here, you can download the software. So going back to our main window, using my Stream Deck buttons here, I can pop back to where we were here. So again, right, so this is kind of it. So it's about programming buttons, and we can do far more with it than just simple controlling OBS. We can control other things. So I've got a Zoom set up here for my Zoom buttons. So when I'm in Zoom, let me fire the Zoom window up. Where's my Zoom window? So I've got Zoom fired up, and I'll go onto the screen, my OBS. It does take a bit of So there's my Zoom window. If I pop up in here, my OBS. A Stream Deck window, so you can see that what's going on. This is my Stream Deck window. Okay, I obviously didn't capture this one before I started. So this is our window here, and I've created some buttons so that I can control Zoom from straight within my Stream Deck. So I can go to my Zoom buttons. And I've got one configured for, so the left-hand one, the target in is for giving focus to Zoom. So if I'm not in Zoom, I can quickly push the button, and then it brings me straight into the Zoom window, so it gives me focus. I can also got one. I've got the next one, the running man or running person, is for exiting Zoom. I've got my mic on, mic off, my video camera on, off, and my screen share. So I can automatically, if I've got a default screen share, which is screen 2, I can press that button and it will go straight into the screen share. I can also turn my chat on and off. I can turn my group chat if I want to, just by pushing the button. And if I want to pop up my participants, I can turn on my participants and my group chat, again, just by pushing the button without having to sort of fumble around things. And if I want to, I can also maximize and minimize my Zoom window and change from speaker view to gallery view. And here I can also turn on my recording on off. So if I'm recording my Zoom call, I can use that key there. Well, you can't see which key I'm pushing to, but so the top left, top right hand side, I've got my stream on, stream off, and next to that I've got my record and record off. So very easily I can do this through my Stream Deck. So not only can I control OBS, I can also control Zoom. I do this through macros, and I'm going to show you in a minute how I've created these auto hotkey macros, which works on both the PC and the Mac. Different software, so you have to get to grips with it differently. But if you're a Mac user, there are macro solutions that allow you to drive this, so you're not going to be left out. But I'm going to demonstrate from a PC perspective today. So I'll go back into my main window, and I'll go back into my OBS folder, and I'll go back to my my main scene to bring you back in here. So this is where I was. I was in my Zoom folder. As you can see, these are the buttons. So that's the record, maximize, and different views. Gallery view, speaker view, etc., etc. And I can exit Zoom here as well with one key. And each of these buttons are the macros, as I said. All right, so let's also look at PowerPoint. What can we do in PowerPoint? You know what it's like when you've got PowerPoint on one screen, you've got all the things going on top, and you want to be able to click without having to try and struggle to find things. And sometimes you can find the keyboard gets noisy, you're clicking away, you could be picked up with the mic. So again, what we can do here is we can use a key to access PowerPoint. And if I go back into this window here, let's go back into OBS and choose the right scene so that I've got my PowerPoint deck on screen. Right, so now I've got my PowerPoint deck up, and I can go back to my PowerPoint window here. So the middle one gives PowerPoint focus. So if I'm off it, I can get focus. I can then use my keyboard if I wanted to. So I'm now using the right key and the left key to move forward and back. But what I can also do here is I can press my key on the Elgato Stream Deck to go forward and back. And the top one is for going to the first slide, and I've got the one at the bottom with the moon on it is to go to the last slide. So I can quickly jump to my top of deck and bottom of deck, or left and right. As that gives me a very easy way, and I'm not having to focus on where my window is, what's on top of it. So I can now flick and have Zoom on top, and I can still control my PowerPoint. I can flick to it by pushing a button, and it just brings it straight to the surface. And so I don't have to go and hunt for that. So that's one of the powerful things you can do. And this is done through auto hotkeys, which again I'm going to come back to in a sec. So let's quickly look at how we can configure the Stream Deck. So let me go into my Stream Deck configuration, which we've seen already. This is this window here. Let me turn that one off. We don't need to see that one anymore. So now this is where we configure our Stream Deck. We've got our various sections over here. And let me just move that out of the way so you can see what we can do. So there, when we come into it, when you first come into this, it's effectively a blank set of keys. You've got no keys at all, just for one in the middle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to quickly show you the various options, and I haven't got time in this video to go to all the details. But in here we've got a Stream Deck option. So in here I can create a folder. So if I want to create a folder here. And this might be my, I don't know, let's call this my PowerPoint bits and pieces. And I can either label up my key, or I can create an icon, a set file, and I can actually pick the icon that I've created. And I've designed these in PowerPoint, so you can create them yourself, or you can download packs from various sources, and I've found lots of these on the internet. Or you can use the actual editor. Within here you can actually build your own create your own new icon and take you to a website here. And so if you wanted to design an icon, so you can pick this one here as a template, and that would be your thing. And then once you're happy, you can then save that. I can now save that as my key. So let me put it in there, and I've now got that downloaded. I can show that in the folder. So when I can now go into my Stream Deck, I can now choose that icon I've literally just created, and there's a whole load of customizations you can do with that. I'm using the wrong, I keep clicking on the wrong one. So create from file, and if I find the one I just created, I can now go into my Stream Deck PNG. So that's the one I quickly downloaded. So I don't need the title anymore. I can just use the use the picture. I don't need to know what it is. So now I can push the button and go into that folder, and now I can create more things. So if I want to access my OBS, I first find the OBS Studio icon here, and if I want to access a source, a scene, I can put the scene in there. Here I can choose a title if I wanted to. I can pick which of my scene collections, so I'm using my default scene at the moment, and I want this button to bring up my outro. So as soon as I press this button here, up will pop my outro. Okay, so I can now test that. So if I pop that button now, you'll see there it is. That's my outro. I don't need to go back to where I was. Hopefully find myself, and there we are. If you're wondering why my face keeps disappearing, I've got face tracking on, so if I move around my window, my little bubble follows my face. It's quite handy if you're trying to do cutouts. So that's a quick high level about how easy it is to create buttons. Let me now quickly show you these auto hotkey macros. So if I look at my zoom buttons here, let's just take the exit, how to exit zoom. So this one's called exit zoom, and I've got one here called this is a multi-action. So in multi-action, what I can do is I can have a number of functions stacked on a key. So if I want to change to a scene, turn this source on, turn this source off, on a timer, I can do various things. So I can set a whole sequence on one button, not just one thing at a time. So again, this is getting a bit more advanced than I want to cover today, but there's a way of stacking commands. You can also have a multi-action, so you can have an on and an off toggle. So if you want to push the button, it does then to turn it on, and you can have another push button to turn it off. Okay, but that's going to do so. So let me quickly show you where the macros are. So if I flip into the other screen here, this is something called Auto Hotkey. You can download it. It's a Windows app, and you install it. And then what you have to do is this is where it gets a bit technical. You have to write a bit of code. And I downloaded the basis of this from the internet, and if anyone asks me, I'm happy to supply a copy of this. But what you can do here is, in essence, you can either define a hotkey. So if you wanted to use F9 for this, you can define a hotkey to do this. Or what you can do is you can use this as an input file to something like the Stream Deck or another hotkey. So first thing I do is I check which window I'm in now. So I want to save it. So when I go into PowerPoint and dump a key, I want to make sure that I can come back to where I left off. So I'm saving my current window with this winget. I'm now using the Windows instructions to find the name of the PowerPoint window, wherever that may be, and then I'm going to sort of just deduce what sort of window it is, whether it's a presentation screen or what, and then I'm going to move myself to that window and send a key. Oh no, that's not the way. I'm getting ahead of myself here. That's not actually where I send the key. So I then activate PowerPoint. I send my left key. And then after I've sent the key, I then pop back to the window I saved at the beginning. So I save the window I'm in, push the key I want to push into it, and then pop back to where I came from. And that's what the macro does. And whilst this may seem complicated if you're not a programmer, it's very easy to sort of take a template like this, and there's some software that comes with it. And again, I'm quite happy to give any a basic assistance to people who want to start, or even provide some of my template files that you can modify. So hopefully that's giving you a bit of insight as to what you can do with the Stream Deck, what it's all about, and why you might need it. So hopefully you found this useful. If you've got some other ideas for other videos or other things you want some awareness on, drop me a line, put something in the comments, and if I can be of help, do let me know. So my name is Joe Lockwood, and I am a remote speaking technical specialist. Okay, thank you.